Okay, hello everybody. Today we're here in Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020 and A2A Simulations Piper Comanche 250. We have a 175 nautical mile flight from Delta Alpha Bravo Daytona Beach International to Victor November Charlie Venice Municipal. As you know, the weather has been pretty rough in Florida this week, and we are flying with live weather, so we'll be flying IFR for today's flight. Might be a little bouncy, but should also be challenging. Should be an awesome flight, so let's hop into the pilot seat and get started. And as we sit here on the ramp, I'd like you just to take a minute and listen. Isn't that awesome? You can hear the raindrops pattering on the roof, and you can see them collecting on the windscreen here. So we'll head down here to our checklist. And we'll start by getting our control locks removed. That's the red band there. Click on that. Then we'll head down here to our fuel selectors left and right, and we'll turn them on because we want to collect fuel from the sumps during the walk around. Now we'll head down here and we'll get the master on. We're going to get all of our exterior lights on for the walk around and bring up the panel lights, which are connected to the nav lights. That's the black switch there. So I won't do the entire walk around, but you can see with A2A Simulations superb Piper Comanche, you can do things like look inside of the fuel tanks and see the fuel level. You can pull fuel sumps from underneath the wing and check for contamination. You can check the oil level and read it right on the dipstick and also see the quality of the oil. You can remove tie downs, remove pitot covers, and load up all of your baggage. I just love this aircraft. So I'll hop back into the aircraft, and we've got the master on. We'll turn the fuel pump on. We've already got the mixture into full rich and the prop full forward. We're watching for fuel flow to peak there on the gauge. And as it peaks, we're going to turn the fuel pump back off. Now we'll head over here and we're going to prime the engine next. There we go, that's the silver knob to the right of carb heat. Engine is primed. We'll open up the window here, let in a little bit of rain. Clear prop. Prop area is clear. Close that back up so I don't get splashed from the rain. Feet on the brakes. Keys are in the ignition, magnetos to both, and we have a push button start on this aircraft to the right of the magneto switch. There we go, we've got a good start. We'll take a look at our gauges here. Our oil pressure is in the green, so it's good to have oil pressure. Next we'll head over to the mixture, and we're going to lean it for ground operations. And you can hear the engine get a bit rough. I went a bit too far with the mixture, so we'll bring that back in until it smooths out. I love that you can do everything by ear in this aircraft. It's just very realistic. So now we can turn on the avionics. We're running with the GTN 750, and we can plug in our headset, and everything gets a lot quieter. We can even turn on noise canceling, and it gets even quieter. Awesome details. We are running with live weather and live time, so we will listen to the real-world HOTAS from Daytona Beach.
Scattered, 3,600 scattered, ceiling 4,500 overcast, temperature 2A, 2.24, altimeter 3013, ILS only 7 left.
Set the altimeter to the real-world altimeter. It should match field elevation if everything's syncing up in the game.
Notice airmen, multiple trains in the city of Daytona. Drone activity happening.
All right. So we're going to dial our flight plan into the GTN 750, and while I'm doing that, I'll open up for flight and take you through the flight brief. All right, as you can see, we have a lot of weather going on in Florida, and for my subscribers who live in Florida, I'm thinking of you. It's pretty rough with the hurricane having moved through there. You can see we've also got a TFR that's for the president who's visiting because of the hurricane. And if you click on the TFR, which fortunately is to the north of us and isn't going to affect us, These are interesting for presidential TFRs because you can see that the United States government may use deadly force against you. So I've had these pop up over my flight school, and it's always a little alarming to have a threat of death right in the TFR. So if we look at KDAB, we can see that we're scattered 2,900, overcast 4,500. Winds aren't too bad, they're just 7 knots out of 070, and we've got showers in the vicinity, so fine for IFR flying. The IFR route is pretty simple. We're flying the Victor 152 airway at 4,000 feet for most of the trip. We're using a real-world filed flight plan for this, and in that, 2/3 of the way through, they hop ship and use the Lakeland VOR to navigate to the initial approach fix for the RNAV for runway 5, so that's what we're doing for Venice. You can see Venice has 3,200 broken, winds at 13. The TAF later on in the day does have thunderstorms, but I think we'll be fine for the time that we're going to arrive. And if the ceiling is really broken, we could always switch to a visual, but for now we're going to plan on the instrument approach. Today's flight is a shout out to channel subscriber Tom, who lives in Venice in real life and is an awesome supporter of the channel, so that's why we're flying to Venice. Thanks, Tom. Daytona clearance, Piper 222 Hotel Lima, IFR to Venice, Victor November Charlie. Cleared to Venice. On departure, fly heading 234, expect radar vectors Kaiser, then as filed, maintain 4,000, departure frequency 125.075, squawk 2313, Piper 2 Hotel Lima. Alright, we'll get that entered here and check our flight plan, just make sure that everything matches our clearance, and then we're good to go. Daytona ground, November 222, Hotel Lima, Embry-Riddle, taxi with information Victor. Taxi, runway 7 right, hold pad via November, Whiskey, Yankee, Sierra, hold short, all crossing runways, November 222, Hotel Lima. Alright, we are on our way.
Taxi straight ahead on runway 16, hold short, runway 7 left.
So our instructions are to hold short all crossing runways, so we'll stop here, hold short and contact ground. Daytona ground, November 222, Hotel Lima, holding short, runway 34. Cross, runway 34, November 222, Hotel Lima. So we've got live ATC streaming in the background, so this should match up with everything that's happening in real time, and you can hear a bunch of student pilots are flying VFR, so weather conditions are fine for VFR and pattern work, and I think I heard some folks even going to the practice area.
With Victor, requesting VFR to north practice area for 2,000 feet.
Alright, we're going to hang a right here, and we've got the hold pad down at the end to the right. I love having a hold pad that you can pull off to for your run-up.
City's 171, read back correct. Daytona Beach clearance, 536 Hotel Foxtrot, information Victor.
And we've got a landing here over to our left.
So 3,000, departure frequency 125.
Stop here at the hold pad.
0177, 536 Hotel Foxtrot. 536 Hotel Foxtrot, read back correct.
Alright, so we've got our RPM up to 2,000, and we're going to check both the left and the right magneto. We're looking for a drop within the range called out from this aircraft, and an equal drop on both sides, and we're also verifying that the mags work, that you can turn them off and on with the mag switch. Next, we'll exercise the prop, and I love the sound of it, and then we're going to check the carb heat since we have a carbureted engine. And recently, I actually had an issue during a mag check, so we'll play a clip of what that looks like for you
mag left
from last week's flight lesson.
Okay, we got a rough mag. We do have a rough mag. That's really rough. Back up. Mag right.
Hotel.
That one's fine.
Mag left. Oh, we'll leave it on both and do the mag cleanup.
Oh, wow, that is crazy rough. Yeah, go up to 2,000. Yeah, right there.
The drop.
Bring it in a few swipes.
Follow traffic, stack 9 Hotel, back taxiing runway.
Going a little more.
27 Wyoming Valley.
There you go. Bring it back up to about 19.
Synchronize watches. Oh, what was that?
That don't sound good. That's what I know. I don't know if you leaned it out a little too much.
Maybe.
Let's try it again. There's 2,000.
1,700. Mag left. Now we have no drop at all.
Nope, no drop.
Give that a second. Come back. We'll try. Oh,
yeah.
We're going back to the ramp.
Yep, go back to both. We had first we had a drop of like 300, and it was like really, you know how you can tell when it's dirty?
Yeah.
And when you can tell there's something wrong.
Yeah.
That was very obviously, okay, something is wrong.
That was like planes
And
going to shake apart.
That was the left mag, correct?
That was the left mag.
Yeah. We tried to clean it up, didn't work, and then we did it, and then it was nothing, and then about 10 seconds later it went barf. Yeah.
The mechanic found a bad connection to one of the spark plugs, which is what we found during our run-up. Daytona ground, 2 Hotel Lima, 7 right run-up pad, ready to taxi. Continue to Hotel Lima. Alright, super short taxi right over here to the old short line.
100 Charlie Fox, November 7, November, going to shelter.
Mitsubishi 100 Charlie Foxtrot, Daytona ground behind the Skyhawk to your right.
We'll do our final checks before departing.
Okay, give way to Skyhawk, November Whiskey, shelter, 0 Charlie Fox.
And contact tower. Daytona Tower, November 222 Hotel Lima, holding short runway 7 right at Sierra. Cleared for departure, runway 7 right at Sierra, November 222 Hotel Lima. Alright, game on.
Early 848, turn 10 degrees left, join the downwind.
You can see up ahead some vertical shafts where the clouds connect with the ground, and that's rain. That's what rain looks like in real life too. I love how Microsoft Flight Simulator shows patches of rain, and as you fly into them, sure enough, you'll get doused with rain.
2 Foxtrot, let's turn crosswind.
Alright, we're just going to double check our rotation and climb speeds for the Cherokee here. We'll make sure that everything matches up. Compass matches the runway, matches the directional. And we're good. Gauges look good. Airspeed is alive.
Number 2 Foxtrot, runway 7 right there for the option. You're following the sky.
Coming up on rotation speed. And we are up. Not too bad. Despite the weather not being great, the wind isn't bad here, and you can feel that as we take off. We got a positive rate, we got our gear coming up. We're going to wait until we clear the end of the runway, and we're at least 400 feet, and then we're going to fly our assigned headings and get radar vectors to Kaiser, which is our first waypoint that should put us on our airway. Alright, we can start our turn now.
Golf Lima, Daytona, Roger.
And you can see straight ahead we've got some rain. We've been handed off to departure, and we can get the autopilot to help us out here. So I've got that all set up. There's those rain showers, and you can see some water starting to beat up on the windows. Alright, we are on track. Let's sit back and enjoy that awesome flight simulator scenery. Alright, as we get everything shut down here, I'll take you through the debrief. So first we're going to open up the door, and then we're going to climb out and put all of the chocks and tie downs back in place and unload our baggage. I love those details for this aircraft. But that was an awesome IFR flight. The weather was a bit bouncy. We were in the soup for a bit at the beginning there, and then it cleared up. And this is what I love about flying with live weather in Microsoft Flight Simulator. A2A Simulations Comanche is by far the best GA aircraft in Microsoft Flight Simulator. It's a living, breathing airplane that you need to take care of and do all of your checks for every flight. I love it. I hope you enjoy realistic general aviation flying like this. If you do, be sure to click that like button, leave me a comment, and don't forget to subscribe. It really helps the channel when you interact with it. Thanks a lot for flying along with me, and stay tuned for further flight adventures.